Ladies and gentlemen, let me begin with a truth that may shake you. Aging does not steal your power, neglect does. Time does not weaken desire, silence does. And the greatest tragedy is not growing older, it is believing the lie that vitality, stamina, and confidence must fade after 50 or 60. Your body was designed for strength. Your heart was designed for performance. Your circulation was designed for performance. But here's the reality. Modern lifestyles choke the very system that fuels sexual vitality: blood flow, hormone balance, nerve sensitivity, and cellular energy. Sexual health is not a luxury. It is not vanity. It is biology. It is circulation. It is oxygen. It is nitric oxide flowing freely through your arteries like a river of life. When circulation weakens, everything weakens. When oxygen drops, performance drops. When inflammation rises, confidence falls. When inflammation rises, confidence falls. But what if I told you that nature has already prepared a powerful combination that supports stamina, endurance, and vascular strength? Let us talk about two humble ingredients, beets and lemon. Beets are not just vegetables, they are natural nitric oxide boosters. Inside every beet lives a compound called nitrates. And when you consume them, your body converts these nitrates into nitric oxide. Nitric oxide relaxes blood vessels. It widens arteries. It improves circulation. And better circulation means better responsiveness, stronger performance, and longer endurance. Now add lemon. Lemon is rich in vitamin C, a powerful antioxidant that protects blood vessels from damage and supports collagen production. Healthy blood vessels are flexible blood vessels. Flexible blood vessels allow optimal flow, and optimal flow fuels energy where it matters most. But this is not magic, it is physiology. When you blend fresh beet juice with a squeeze of lemon, you support heart health, you enhance oxygen delivery, you reduce oxidative stress, you promote hormonal balance, you improve stamina naturally. And here is the deeper truth: sexual health begins in the kitchen, not the bedroom. Your arteries do not know romance. They know nutrients. Your hormones do not respond to wishful thinking. They respond to lifestyle. Your energy does not rise because of hope. It rises because of circulation. This simple recipe can be taken daily. Fresh beet juice, 1 medium beet juice of half a lemon. Optionable. A small piece of ginger for added circulation support. Drink it in the morning. Stay hydrated, move your body, sleep deeply, reduce sugar, reduce processed food, protect your arteries like they are gold, because they are. And remember this: stamina at 60 is not about ego, it is about vitality. It is about confidence. It is about showing up in life with strength, not excuses. You do not need shame. You need knowledge. You do not need fear. You need action. You do not need chemicals first. You need circulation first. Body responds when you respect it. The body rewards when you nourish it. So here is my challenge to you. Start today, not next month, not when you feel ready. Buy the beets, cut the lemon, prepare the juice, commit to 30 days of supporting your circulation naturally. Walk daily. Eat consciously, protect your heart, because the greatest aphrodisiac is health. The greatest confidence is vitality, and the greatest regret is waiting too long to take control. Your energy is not gone. Your strength is not finished. Your best years are not behind you. They are waiting on the other side of action. Stand up, take control, fuel your body, protect your heart, and reclaim your power naturally. What if I told you that most performance struggles have nothing to do with age and everything to do with blood flow? What if the real issue is not desire, not masculinity, not attraction, but circulation? This is where the truth begins. Sexual response is a vascular event. It is physics. It is pressure. It is oxygen delivery. When the brain signals arousal, blood vessels must expand rapidly to allow increased blood flow into specific tissues. This process depends on nitric oxide, a molecule that relaxes and widens the arteries. Without sufficient nitric oxide, the signal is sent, but the body cannot respond effectively. Here is the silent danger. Arteries are only a few millimeters wide. Even minor plaque buildup, inflammation, or stiffness can restrict flow. Long before a person experiences chest pain or heart symptoms, small blood vessels show early warning signs through reduced performance. In many cases, sexual dysfunction is one of the first indicators of cardiovascular imbalance. Poor diet high in processed sugar and trans fats damages the endothelial lining, the delicate inner layer of blood vessels responsible for producing nitric oxide. smoking constricts arteries. Chronic stress floods the body with cortisol and adrenaline, tightening vessels and impairing relaxation. Physical inactivity weakens vascular flexibility. Over time, the river narrows. But here's the empowering truth. Blood vessels respond quickly to lifestyle changes. Aerobic exercise stimulates nitric oxide production. Leafy greens and beets provide dietary nitrates that enhance vascular dilation. Hydration supports plasma volume and circulation efficiency. Quality sleep allows endothelial repair. Even simple breathing techniques can improve oxygenation and vascular tone. When circulation improves, responsiveness improves. When arteries relax, confidence returns. This is not about shortcuts. It is about restoring the biological foundation that allows the body to perform as it was designed to perform. What if the real reason desire fades isn't age, but imbalance? What if the silent shift happening inside your body every single day is hormonal? Before you blame stress, your partner, or the passing years, understand this. Hormones are the chemical messengers that control libido, stamina, mood, confidence, and even tissue sensitivity. Testosterone in men and estrogen in women are not just sex hormones. They regulate muscle mass, fat distribution, bone strength, motivation, and mental sharpness. When testosterone declines, energy drops, motivation weakens, recovery slows. Arousal becomes inconsistent. In women, fluctuations in estrogen influence lubrication, sensitivity, and overall comfort. Hormonal balance is not optional, it is foundational. Here's what most people don't realize. Hormones do not suddenly collapse overnight. They respond to lifestyle signals. Chronic stress elevates cortisol, and high cortisol suppresses testosterone production. Poor sleep, especially less than 6 hours per night, disrupts the natural nighttime hormonal release cycle. Excess body fat increases aromatase activity, an enzyme that converts testosterone into estrogen, lowering available free testosterone in the bloodstream. Blood sugar spikes also interfere with hormonal stability. Insulin resistance reduces sex hormone binding globulin (SHBG) balance, altering how much active hormone is available to tissues. Even exposure to endocrine disrupting chemicals found in plastics and processed products may interfere with natural production. But here's the powerful shift. The endocrine system is responsive, strength training stimulates testosterone release. Deep sleep enhances hormonal pulses. Healthy fats from nuts, seeds, olive oil, and omega-3 sources support hormone synthesis because these molecules are built from cholesterol structures. Sunlight exposure supports vitamin D, which plays a role in testosterone regulation, reduce stress, build muscle, prioritize rest, nourish your body properly, and hormones respond with precision. When hormones stabilize, confidence rises. When balance returns, desire follows. When internal chemistry aligns, vitality awakens from within. What if the real thief of performance isn't age, but sugar? What if the silent spike happening after every refined meal is slowly weakening nerves, narrowing vessels, and dulling responsiveness? Before you look for complicated explanations, look at your metabolism. Every time blood sugar rises sharply, insulin surges to push glucose into cells. When this cycle repeats day after day, from sweet drinks, white flour, processed snacks, cells become less responsive to insulin. This condition, known as insulin resistance, forces the body to produce even more insulin. Over time, elevated glucose begins to damage the delicate lining of blood vessels and the tiny nerves responsible for sensation and arousal. Here's the biological reality. Sexual function depends on healthy nerves and flexible arteries. High blood sugar stiffens vessels through glycation, a process where excess glucose binds to proteins and reduces elasticity. It also increases oxidative stress, which lowers nitric oxide availability. Less nitric oxide means weaker vascular expansion. At the same time, nerve endings become less sensitive, reducing stimulation feedback and delaying responsiveness. Metabolic syndrome, characterized by abdominal fat, high triglycerides, low HDL cholesterol, and elevated blood pressure, creates a perfect storm for dysfunction. Visceral fat is hormonally active. It releases inflammatory cytokines that interfere with testosterone production and vascular health. What abdominal circumference is not just a cosmetic concern, it is a metabolic warning sign. But the body adapts when supported correctly. Stabilizing blood sugar with fiber-rich vegetables, whole foods, lean proteins, and healthy fats slows glucose absorption. Regular movement increases insulin sensitivity by helping muscles absorb glucose efficiently. Even a 15-minute walk after meals can significantly reduce post-meal spikes. Hydration supports kidney filtration and metabolic processes. Strength training builds muscle tissue, which acts as a glucose reservoir. Control metabolism and you protect vessels, and you protect sensation. Back sensation and performance follows physiology. What if the most powerful sexual organ in your body isn't below the waist, but between your ears? What if the most powerful sexual organ in your body isn't below the waist, but between your ears? What if the difference between confidence and hesitation, stamina and struggle, desire and detachment begins in the brain? Before blood flows, before hormones surge, before the body responds, the mind gives permission. Sexual arousal is a neurological process. Brain interprets touch, visual cues, emotional connection, and memory. It sends signals through the spinal cord to activate vascular and muscular responses. But when the brain is overwhelmed by stress, anxiety, or fear, those signals become distorted. Performance anxiety alone can trigger the sympathetic nervous system, the fight or flight response, releasing adrenaline that constricts blood vessels and tightens muscles. Instead of relaxation and expansion, the body shifts into defense mode. Chronic stress elevates cortisol, and high cortisol suppresses sexual hormones and reduces dopamine, the neurotransmitter responsible for pleasure and motivation. Depression can blunt desire by lowering serotonin balance and dampening reward circuits. Even unresolved relationship tension can create subconscious resistance. Reducing arousal despite physical readiness, the brain does not separate emotional safety from physical response. The brain does not separate emotional safety from physical response. If trust, connection, or self-confidence is unstable, the body hesitates. Negative self-talk, comparison, and fear of judgment activate neural pathways that interfere with relaxation. The more pressure placed on performance, the more the mind monitors instead of experiences. But here is the turning point. The brain is adaptable. The brain is adaptable. Mindfulness practices strengthen prefrontal control over stress responses. Deep breathing activates the parasympathetic nervous system, allowing blood vessels to relax. Open communication reduces uncertainty and builds emotional safety. Physical exercise increases dopamine and serotonin naturally, enhancing mood and desire. Quality sleep restores neurotransmitter balance and improves cognitive clarity. When the mind feels secure, the body responds freely. When anxiety quiets, sensitivity increases. When emotional connection strengthens, arousal becomes natural rather than forced. What if the real enemy of vitality is something you cannot see, cannot feel, and rarely measure? What if a silent fire is burning inside your body every single day, slowly weakening arteries, dulling hormones, and draining stamina? That silent fire is chronic inflammation. The silent fire is chronic inflammation. Inflammation is not always harmful. In fact, acute inflammation is protective. It helps your body heal from injury and fight infection. But when inflammation becomes chronic, low-grade, and persistent, it begins to damage healthy tissue. Poor diet, processed foods, excess sugar, smoking, lack of sleep, chronic stress, and environmental toxins all fuel this internal fire. Over time, inflammatory chemicals called cytokines circulate in the bloodstream, irritating the endothelial lining of blood vessels. Here is why this matters for sexual health. Healthy performance depends on flexible arteries and efficient nitric oxide production. Chronic inflammation reduces nitric oxide availability and increases oxidative stress, making blood vessels stiff and less responsive. When arteries lose flexibility, circulation weakens. When circulation weakens, responsiveness declines. Inflammation also interferes with hormone signaling. Elevated inflammatory markers can suppress testosterone production and disrupt estrogen balance. Visceral fat, especially around the abdomen, is metabolically active and releases inflammatory compounds that amplify the problem. This creates a cycle. Inflammation promotes fat storage, and fat storage promotes more inflammation. Oxidative stress, the imbalance between free radicals and antioxidant, further accelerates vascular damage. Free radicals attack cell membranes and impair mitochondrial function, reducing energy production at the cellular level. Less cellular energy means reduced endurance and slower recovery. But the body has built-in defense systems. Antioxidant-rich foods like leafy greens, berries, citrus fruits, turmeric, garlic, and beets help neutralize free radicals. Omega-K 3 fatty acids reduce inflammatory signaling. Regular physical activity lowers inflammatory markers. Deep restorative sleep allows cellular repair. Hydration supports detoxification pathways. When inflammation decreases, vessels relax more easily, hormones communicate more efficiently, and energy production becomes more stable. What if the solution you've been searching for isn't in a pill bottle, but in your daily routine? What if real stamina is not built overnight, but built every single morning when you choose discipline over convenience? The uncomfortable truth is this: quick fixes may stimulate temporarily, but lifestyle determines longevity. Many people look for instant enhancement while ignoring the fundamentals that control success. Axial vitality: sleep, movement, nutrition, hydration, and recovery. A stimulant can increase heart rate for a few hours, but it cannot repair damaged arteries. A temporary boost cannot correct hormonal imbalance created by years of stress and poor diet. Performance is not an isolated event, it is the result of daily biological investment. And this the result of daily biological investment. Regular physical activity strengthens the cardiovascular system, improves endothelial function, and increases natural testosterone production. Resistance training builds lean muscle, which improves insulin sensitivity and metabolic efficiency. Cardiovascular exercise enhances nitric oxide release and supports long-term vascular flexibility. Movement is not optional. It is medicine. Sleep is equally powerful. During deep sleep, the body releases growth hormone and regulates testosterone cycles. Poor sleep elevates cortisol, increases inflammation, and disrupts blood sugar control. Even 1 week of restrictive sleep can significantly lower testosterone levels. In negative, they can significantly lower testosterone levels. Consistent 7-8 hour sleep cycles restore hormonal rhythm and nervous system balance. Nutrition forms the structural base. Whole foods provide micronutrients essential for hormone synthesis and nerve signaling. Zinc, magnesium, B vitamins, healthy fats. Hydration maintains plasma volume and circulation efficiency. Excess alcohol suppresses testosterone and impairs nerve response. Smoking constricts blood vessels and accelerates vascular aging. Sustainable vitality requires consistency, not intensity. Small daily improvements compound over time. Every healthy meal strengthens arteries. Every workout supports hormones. Every restful night repairs tissues. Lasting sexual health is not achieved by chasing urgency, but by building resilience through disciplined habits.